Good evening, guys. Britain Oz here. Thank you very, very much for joining me again. So we have reached the end of the 2016 Autumn Internationals. It's been an excellent series. Been some surprises in there, but generally it's been very, very, very good. Some great rugby's been played overall. This week I am pretty pleased. I got 5 out of 6 on the results. Only Italy let me down this week, but we'll get to that result in just a minute. So, guys, we are going to have a little recap of what I thought the results were going to be. I thought Italy were going to beat Tonga. I thought Scotland were going to beat Georgia fairly comfortably. England were going to beat Argentina. Ireland, I thought were going to beat Australia. Wales, I felt were going to beat South Africa. And I thought New Zealand were going to beat France. So, let's get on to the Italy-Tonga game now. Italy have come into this having just beaten South Africa. Probably their best ever win, to be fair. Against a South Africa team that is struggling, but you beat South Africa. It's amazing. It's really, really good. I was really hoping Italy were going to springboard off that result, get another result against Tonga, and go into the Six Nations full of confidence. Probably the most confident, hopefully, they've been since they've joined. Unfortunately, that didn't go to plan, and they lost to Tonga in 1917. I don't know what is happening. I know South Africa are not playing well. I know they're lacking in confidence, but any team that can beat them should then believe they can go and beat Tonga. I'm just baffled by this. To be honest, I'm really baffled by it. O'Shea, the Italy coach, will be livid, I think, at losing this game. This is one that they should be winning 9 times out of 10. Unfortunately, this is just that 1 time out of 10 that they didn't win. Where to from here? I don't know. I think the way that the other teams in the Six Nations have gone, I think Italy are going to struggle again. Yes, they beat South Africa. We've mentioned before that South Africa are not playing well at the moment. Every other team from the Northern Hemisphere, including Scotland, have played well. Italy got that 1 result, and then they've gone and lost to a second-tier nation in Tonga, and it just spells bad news for them. It really spells bad news for them. Onwards and upwards for Italy, I think. I'm just disappointed by that result. Good on Tonga, though. Fair play to them. Very, very good. Okay, moving on to the Scotland game. They played Georgia. I predicted a comfortable win for Scotland in this, and they came through 43-16. Good result. It was in the bag. Scotland were never any doubt. They're playing well at the moment as a unit. I don't think they're going to win the Six Nations, but they're going to cause teams some trouble. So yeah, they'll be very good. Georgia, I was expecting more from them. To be honest, they've got good players. They've actually got very good facilities in Georgia. We're going to speak more about them in another video. I was really hoping they were going to grasp this chance with both hands and really make it competitive. Unfortunately, it just didn't. I'm not sure really what's going on with that. Okay, moving on to Twickenham. England beat Argentina 27-14. I'm not really that surprised by this result. Argentina have gone away a little bit from their strength, which was their set piece and their forwards, and tried to play more expansive rugby. I think sometimes they play that, and it's just in the wrong parts of the pitch. If you get caught playing ball in your own 22 and you get tackled in the wrong area and you're isolated, that's points against you, penalty or a try. England played well, getting patches of maybe not so good, but it's 12 in a row. I mean, you take wins where you can get them, to be honest. So yeah, England will be happy with that. They'll go in the next week's game against Australia feeling very, very happy, very, very confident. Talking of Australia, they lost to Ireland on the weekend, 27-24. The press in Australia, and a few articles that I've read, have put this down as a bit of a shock result. I'm not really that surprised by it. Ireland have played very well. They've beaten the All Blacks this year. They've beaten South Africa this year. They played very, very well. They're probably the most improved team in the series, to be honest. And they will be up there for the Six Nations with England. And so the fact that people are saying that this result was a shock result, I don't think it was, to be honest. It's close, but I don't think it's a shock result. And Ireland are going to keep beating these Southern Hemisphere teams. The future is very, very bright for Ireland, and I think the Lions team will be made up of a lot of Irish players. They're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, which is good to see. Wales came away with an expected win against South Africa. I'm really not surprised that they won this. South Africa are just in pieces at the moment. I think they're just happy to be on the plane going home, to be honest with you. I think they'll be first on that plane on the way back. So 27-13 it finished to Wales. Wales will be happy they won it. In all, they've had a poor series. Wales, yes, they've won 3 games out of their 4, but they've not really played that well. And I think Rob Howley, he's coaching at the moment, but him and Warren Gatland need to really seriously look at this team. If they're going to make any impression in the Six Nations next year, they're going to have to really seriously look at this team. Again, just with one eye on the Lions, Warren Gatland chose a lot of Wales players that tour against Australia. To be honest, that Australia team they played were not the best, and Yes, they won, but well, the Lions won. But a lot of Welsh players. Wales are playing pretty well at the time of the Lions tour. They're not playing well now, and I really hope Warren Gatland gets away from picking these big Welsh players and looks at the Irish players, looks at some of these Scottish players who are playing really well. Hogg at fullback is playing incredibly well. And look at some of the English players. Yes, I hope he gets away from that sort of Warren Ball kind of 12, smash it up. Okay, last game of the weekend, we had New Zealand play France. New Zealand won 24-19, close game. I thought it was going to be close. France being a tricky side for New Zealand. New Zealand, to be fair, played some scintillating rugby. They played very, very well. They came away with a win. They'll be happy with their tour by that Ireland result, but I think overall they'll be fairly happy with it. End of a long season for them. They came away with another win, which is good. Just on to a few talking points. Let's start with England. England now have won 12 on the bounce, which is very good. You've got to look at the teams that they played, though. Maybe not the strongest. They haven't played New Zealand in a little while. Can you start to compare them with the side that won the World Cup in 2003? I don't think so yet. I don't think so. That 2003 team, they were producing results 2 years, 18 months before the World Cup. They were a pretty settled side as well, and they knew what they were doing, a great game plan. Their generals in the midfield. I think England is still trying to find their feet under Eddie Jones. I think they're a good side, got some good players, and it's shown their strength in depth when they got players out through injury and suspension that they can still produce wins like that they did against Argentina, even under 14 man to 5 minutes after Daly was sent off. So they've got signs there, being a very, very good team. Now, what is going to really push this team on is by winning Six Nations and by winning it with a Grand Slam. If they can win a second Grand Slam in a row, then you can start then to compare them to 2003 and think World Cup 2019 in Japan. It's a real possibility that they can win that, but they've got to keep this momentum up. They can't rest on their laurels. Play each game as it comes, which I think they've been doing at the moment, doing